Let us begin quietly. Imagine sitting beneath a wide, open sky. Thoughts move like clouds, some bright, some heavy, some fleeting, some stubborn. Now gently ask yourself, what do I truly believe about life, about the self, about the world? And how certain am I that these views are true? In the Brahmajāla Sutta, the Buddha invites us into a profound inquiry. This teaching is called the all-embracing net of views. Like a finely woven net cast into the vast ocean, it gathers and reveals all the different views that beings cling to. The purpose is not to shame belief, but to help us see clearly how attachment to views can bind the mind. The Buddha begins in a very human way. He speaks about how people praise him and criticize him. Some admire his discipline and wisdom. Others misunderstand or question him. Instead of reacting with pride or irritation, he teaches his monks to observe both praise and blame calmly. This is the first quiet lesson. Even our views about others, even our judgments, are part of the net. If we cling to them, we become entangled. Then the Buddha turns to a deeper examination. He describes many kinds of views about existence. Some believe the self and the world are eternal, lasting forever without change. Others believe everything ends completely at death. Some claim partial truths. Perhaps the soul is eternal, but the body is not. Others construct elaborate theories based on meditation experiences, logic, or memory. The Buddha listens to all these views with great patience. He does not dismiss them harshly. Instead, he shows their roots. Each view, he explains, arises from contact, feeling, and perception. A person experiences something, perhaps a deep state of meditation, or a memory they interpret in a certain way, and from that experience, they form a conclusion. Then they hold on to it. They say, "This is the truth." But the Buddha points out something subtle and important. These views are not born from complete understanding. They arise from limited experience, shaped by craving and ignorance. Even refined spiritual experiences can become a trap if we cling to them as final truth. Here, the teaching becomes very practical. The Buddha is not asking us to replace one belief with another. He is asking us to see the process of clinging itself. Whether the view is, everything is eternal, or nothing survives death, the problem is not only the content of the view, but the attachment to it. Imagine holding a rope tightly. The tighter you grip, the more strain you feel. The Buddha is showing us that our views can be like that rope. Even if the rope is made of fine threads, even if it feels comforting, it still binds the hand that clings. The Buddha then describes how all these views are connected to craving. Some views arise from the desire for existence, the wish to continue, to be, to remain. Others arise from the desire for non-existence, the wish to end, to escape, to disappear. Both are rooted in a subtle longing, a movement of the mind that says, "I want this to be so." This is why the sutta is called a net. It catches not only coarse views, but also refined and philosophical ones. It shows that even the most sophisticated beliefs can still be within the field of attachment. But the Buddha does not leave us in confusion. He points beyond the net. He speaks of a way of knowing that does not depend on clinging to views. This knowing arises from direct understanding of experience as it is. When we observe the body, feelings, mind, and mental patterns with mindfulness, we begin to see their true nature. We see that they arise and pass away. They are not fixed. They are not self. This insight is not a belief. It is something to be seen directly. When one sees clearly, the need to hold rigid views begins to soften. The mind becomes less interested in declaring, "This is absolutely true," and more interested in understanding, "This is how things arise and pass." This shift is gentle but powerful. It moves us from argument to observation, from certainty to clarity, from clinging to freedom. The Buddha describes the one who understands this as someone who is no longer caught in the net. They see views as conditioned phenomena, not as ultimate truths to be defended. Because of this, they are not shaken by disagreement. They are not driven by the need to prove or defend. This does not mean they become passive or indifferent. Rather, they become deeply grounded. Their understanding is not based on opinion, but on direct insight into the nature of reality. In our modern world, we are surrounded by views. Opinions move quickly, shared and defended with great energy. It is easy to become caught in endless cycles of agreement and disagreement. The Brahmajāla Sutta offers a quiet alternative. Instead of asking, which view is correct, we can begin to ask, what is happening in my mind as I hold this view? Is there tension? Is there fear? Is there a need to be right? This question turns the light inward. It begins to free us from the automatic habit of clinging. Even in meditation, this teaching is important. We may have certain expectations. We may believe, this experience means I am progressing, or this state is the goal. But the Buddha gently reminds us, do not cling even to these. Let experience arise and pass. Learn from it, but do not build identity around it. Over time, this practice leads to a deep sense of ease. The mind becomes less entangled. It does not rush to fix reality into rigid categories. It becomes spacious, open, and steady. The Brahmajāla Sutta is not merely a catalogue of wrong views. It is a mirror. It invites us to see how the mind constructs its own world and then becomes trapped within it. And it offers a way out, not through debate, but through understanding. So as we come to the end of this reflection, let us return to that open sky. Notice the thoughts that arise. Notice the views that appear, even now. You do not need to push them away. You do not need to follow them. Simply see them as they are. Formations arising and passing, like clouds. In this simple seeing, something begins to loosen. And perhaps, in that quiet space, you may glimpse what the Buddha was pointing to, a freedom that does not depend on holding any view at all,